Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another show and tell. I'm going to be showing you the cameras that got me introduced to photography, specifically film photography, and then how my journey progressed. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you the lens I acquired. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is the camera that got me introduced to photography, specifically at the time, film photography. This was my sister's first camera that got her into it, and then she upgraded to a better one. So I was using this when we went out on our little photography shoots, and I'm glad I did, because without this brand, I don't think I would have found the best ergonomic for me, being left-handed, but also enjoying the hobby. So as you saw, the lens is partially broken. When I did get my hands on it, even when she did, the lens was a little bit broken. The aperture ring was not functional, and years later, the outer ring right here, I'll just show you the model it is. The threading broke off, and when I got my Rebel T7, I did take advantage of this and used it as practically a wide open video lens, and it was fun, and it does look good. I mean, it's not a bad lens, it's a shame that the only thing you can do is focus. I did disassemble it, and that's how I found that there's missing pieces, and that's why the aperture ring never engaged. I cleaned it out and cleaned the blades. It was fun, but I use it now as a lens cap for the body. The body itself is a little bit broken, so like right here, wind it, you can see it does not go back. There's like a piece maybe that's stretched out, I don't know. The counter does not work, so I missed a lot of shots, sadly. The light meter does function. How accurate is it? I do not know. And you would do that by this right here. So you would line it up, and then right here it says ASA, so your ISO, that's setting right there. And you saw the shutter speed, and it does engage with a flash, and it does fire. I will not show you the bottom due to someone did engrave their social security number, their name, and at the time, I guess, maybe if they're still alive, their address, so I'm not going to show you that, sadly. But the inside, I will show you. It's very clean. And I did get light leak on some shots, so I don't know if that was from, not from this lens, but other lens I did purchase over the years. But nonetheless, it does fire, it does give you photos, and I do love it. When I got my hands on it, the first time I used it, I did not like holding it like this. So after a few shots, my sister saw me holding it like this, and that's how I hold both of these, because I have two Prakticas. And that's how I hold it. I would rack it and then snap. But with that is the LB2. I do recommend, if you can find any of the Prakticas on eBay, check them out as long as they're fully functional. You know, we are talking about a camera from the 70s, mid 60s, and you know, there's going to be faults. So don't look at the big brands that people always push you towards. If you're getting into film or digital, grab whatever. If it meets your needs, use it, understand it, and have fun. So let's get into the second camera, and then we'll do the camera lens and close out the video. So the second camera really started everything for me. So after using the LB2, acquiring a few lenses, understanding the basics, I acquired this amazing camera right here. It's quite large because of the case. It is a Pentacon branded case, and it's another Praktica. So right here I have the lens off because, like I mentioned in previous videos, all my film lens I used on my Rebel T7 with an adapter. So let me put on the lens that started everything for me. And this is what I would carry around. I would take the outer part off and then just have this around my neck. So you can see right there, it is a Pentacon branded 50mm, very, very beautiful lens. And let me take it out of this to show you the rest. For, you know, ISO and then your shutter speed, where this one, they condensed it into one. And then this side is nothing because it is electronic viewfinder. It's not a, what do you call it? The light metering on this is manual, as opposed to this one being built in and it requires a battery, so it's an electronic one. You do have a self-timer, which is really neat. And my favorite thing is when I was doing research about the brand and then understanding, this piece right here is very important, I guess if you're a collector, but mainly this means first generation run. Like I said, there's not much different with one another. Even the inside looks the same. I didn't get nearly as much light leak, so that's why I think that this one may have bad seals, or just me not fully understanding exposure, shutter speed, all that kind of stuff. But regardless, I did get a lot of amazing shots with it. It was fun. And the cool thing, you know, like I said, with this one being, again, holding it like this and messing with this switch right here, just to see how much light, I was going by just how much light I see and then how much I want to stop it down. Again, I am not professional. I just know the basics and have fun with it. But when you rack it and you have it in auto mode, you will see those blades move. So whatever you have it set at, this engages with the shot. And just to show you the self-timer, takes the shot and then you're done. So that's really neat. And there's not much more to say about it. It's a very nice camera. This is in no particular order, but I will say right off the bat, with this lens and this lens, these are my two favorites, mainly because of the compact, but you know, the usability. You're not lugging around a very large lens. So this is my Pentacon 29mm 2.8 version. I believe there was a 3. I went with the 2.8, and I will show you, it did come, this was from Germany. A few years ago I got this. It came in this housing. So this strap right here, I just put on it. This was the strap I used with the LB2, but it did come in this housing. And what I did at the time when I was using my Rebel T7, I would carry this on the body. This was on the body all the time. But this lens I would carry with me in there, and I would just change off. So it was really neat having this and two lenses that I really like. Rebel T7 is a crop sensor, so 29mm. It's not giving me 29mm, but regardless, again, when I went to the digital route, I was able to take advantage of every lens and fine-tune and know their weaknesses and their strengths. So that's all that I cared about, and I'm very happy that I went down this route of understanding and just having fun instead of trying to make something look more artistic. Next is, I believe this was my last lens I acquired, another Pentacon. This was a seller from the UK that disassembled and serviced, because this one was hard to get my hands on, specifically in this style. So there was two versions of this 135, and it had this design, and I believe it was a Zeiss lens, but with Pentacon branding. So this one is amazing. I did a lot of video, and I did love video from this. This was really fun. The aperture blade right in the back, as you can see. I noticed with this lens, with the aperture blade, when it's not connected to a body, it doesn't fully open and close. That's the only thing, but everything is fully functional. It's very smooth, as you can see. So I love this lens. I think out of all my telephoto, this one is probably my favorite. My next lens was acquired early on, and it's very beat up. Got it very cheap. It is a Vivitar 200mm. It looks like it went through a war. I did notice early on that this piece right here, as you can see, was wobbly, and I was a little concerned because that's the aperture, and it is really hard to turn. Most people would probably say why have this? Why did you buy it? Well, I wanted a 200mm. I think this was like 25 or 30 bucks. The only thing I did accidentally do a few years later when I found out that I had fungus in the rear element, I smashed, there you go. I smashed the rear element. I don't know if it's the outer one or the inner one, but to my surprise, when I connected it to my digital camera, you don't see it in photo or video, and I'm not getting rid of this. This is a really fun lens, quite large and heavy. It is my 300mm, and I do have a GoPro. This is actually for the pool. You can open this and put things in it, but this I used as trying to keep it as stable as possible. I think this is how I held it because, as you can see, it does turn. But imagine you have a DSLR, which is kind of heavy, and then you have this, which is front heavy because it's the metal body and the elements in the front, the glass are heavy, they're big. This one is really fun. No problems. It's a very smooth, as you can see right here. Let's get that in frame. Very, very smooth. Never gave me issues with that. And especially this, I could just do it with one hand, one finger really, and then turn it off. This is a little bit hard to get back on, but just for the video, I will show you the inside. And then wide open, see, very clean. This one came very clean. There's some dust inside, but it's not something that I worry about. I believe this one was like 40 bucks. Hard to find info on, and on eBay there's very little. I think this company did do a 135 and a 200. I just went for the 300 because when I was looking at the Pentacon 300, can't get that on. The aperture rings are very delicate, I noticed, on the 300mm, and everyone that was selling the 300s, I'll give you demonstration with the 50. Right there we go. So you see how they come together. So the 300mm, everyone I saw, and most of them weren't even US sellers, had dust inside them. So this being very delicate as it's on its own, any dust that would get in between it would pop them out of alignment, and I don't want to deal with that, especially because of these lenses all are roughly 40, 30 years old, maybe even 50. So this is the adapter I used with my Rebel T7. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what EF mount camera body you think would be a good happy medium with utilizing these lenses, because I may get one in the future, because I'm not getting rid of these lenses. And the EF mount, I might as well take advantage. I have the adapter and use my lens again. With that though, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you in the next one.